Automation, automation nation, automation nation, automation nation, around the nation. Automation nation, automation nation, automation nation. Around the nation, around the nation, around the nation. Welcome to the Automation Nation podcast, the show for business leaders, tech aficionados, and those who are just simply curious about where technology and business are going. Automation Nation is your gateway to understanding automation, AI, and the future of business. Don't get left behind. Tune in now and subscribe for more. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again for another conversation. Automation Nation conversation. I'm your host, Rob House. And my guest today, Kelly Rohrs, is someone who you're going to want to listen to if you're interested in winning in business and understanding your finances, because understanding your financials, ladies and gentlemen, literally is the lifeline of your business. Okay. Can't say it. I can't. It's not a soapbox. It's just a box that I'm on top of, and I won't get off it until everyone hears me, Kelly. So thanks for being here so you can help me scream off the top of this box.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Well, Kelly is a certified public accountant with several years of experience in public accounting and tax practice. She's guided many healthcare providers to great success. She's passionate about saving her clients money while helping their businesses grow, as I said. And this is in her bio, by the way. I'm reading a little bit of it here. So it's important to me to educate clients on how to analyze their business, gain financial control, and increase the bottom line. Bottom line, Kelly, thank you for being here.
Listen, people don't realize, the name of the game is to make money, right? If you don't go into business to lose. And so many people don't even know what their bottom line is.
It's incredible. It's the unknown. Well, look, Kelly, before we jump into this, we ask all of our guests this question. We are powered by Simply Automate. And so if you could simply automate one thing in your personal life, what would that be?
Making dinner.
Ooh. Bing, bing, bing. That's another one of those Family Feud #1 answers. Wow. Making dinner.
Yeah. Something that everybody likes. We'll add that on there too. It's
add that.
Easy. It's not easy.
Add that prompt into your ChatGPT dinner maker, okay? Something everyone likes. That's a big prompt to add in there. Kelly, why don't you share with everybody who's listening right now, first of all, a little bit about yourself and then why you do what you do. It's always the story behind what inspires people inspires people. So inspire someone, please.
So I've been in the industry for over a decade, and I have always been a lover of numbers. I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit. If anybody's listens to my podcast that I co-host with Bilal Mahana, it's called From Zero to Millions Accounting Edition. And the theme of a lot of accounting firm owners or business owners is that they have this drive to run a business. And it may not be just an accounting firm. Most of us have, sold newspapers, or I used to hand out flyers to babysit in the neighborhood. I tutored, I made handbags and sold them to kids when I was in middle school. So I've always had this drive to run a business, and I love helping people. So when I can put, my love for numbers, helping people, running the show together, I'm basically living my dream.
That is living a dream. Okay. And I know on this dream, there's been some nightmares along the way, because anytime you're building, there's always going to be that. And what would you say to, first of all, why don't you talk about maybe if anything you can speak to in regards to that, and then maybe how you overcame that still to move forward now?
Great question, because I can make it seem like I've, had a straight path to get here and everything's always gone perfectly. And it hasn't. I did not finish college in 4 years. I took a break. I I started actually going to college for math, and I had issues like a year and a half, 2 years in. I actually lost my father at a very young age and I needed to deal with it. So I had to deal with mental health issues early in my life and, took a break and then came back. And, for many people, it's not a straight line. And they think that because something's gone on in their life, that they don't have the power to change it or that they're stuck in their situation. And I really believe no one is stuck. Everybody has the ability to, do whatever they want and follow their dreams.
I believe that. And that's encouraging. That's encouraging. You just have to keep going. I'm always reminded of this image where you see two people digging and there's like a diamond on the other side. They're both digging. It looks like they've been digging for a long time because you can see the trail behind them and they have one more dig to go, one more chop to go. And then one guy's turning around, throwing his stick up because he's finished. The other guy's getting ready to take that last swing that obviously gives him the diamond. So yeah, you got to keep swinging. You got to keep swinging. And speaking of swinging, staying in the game of business, it's understanding your numbers. And you've helped people and clients and companies do this. Maybe speak to how, because it's always good to hear the practical examples of how people are winning. Maybe you can share one of yours.
So, a specific example of how, being automated has helped my clients is really, I guess the biggest one for me and clients is automating billing and making sure, you obtain your fees up front. That's one of the things that I always talk about on the podcast is, we don't really have AR. We collect our fees up front. If there's a different way that you can gain the income and receive income rather than like sending out a bill in the mail and waiting for a check to come back and chasing your clients, then you need to do it. You need to be sending automated reminders, automatic billing on a monthly, quarterly, whatever it is. It's going to change your life.
And it's gonna cut down on some ineffectiveness too. It's gonna heighten your efficiency, lessen those errors. I think you want to lessen the errors too when it comes to billing.
100%. And get that cash in the door. Cash flow is king.
Cash flow is king. And I guess understanding your data is queen. That might be king, and then it might be right. It might be. Let's talk about some challenges. Because again, I like this. I like the clouds and I like the dirt.
Well, I think the biggest challenge is, finding the right fit, because there are so many different programs and softwares out there that can help you automate your business, but some of them overlap. Some of them are totally separate. And then people also are fearful. They're fearful of subscription pricing. And they're like, oh, no, I don't want another subscription that's going to cost me $20 a month. And that's really, not a great mindset, because something as small as $20 a month can cut hours out of your staff time or your own time.
That's a good point. Understanding the right softwares, right? Understanding the right softwares, and coming up with this understanding to do what we call intelligent automation. How do you become intelligent? Because people don't just become intelligent overnight. It's how do they get to that point? How do they approach it? What's the first step from your perspective?
So you need to collaborate with other people in your space. We're not in competition with other people. We can all, there's enough clients out there. There's enough business out there for everyone to go around. You need to see what's working for the best people in your industry. You need to see what other people like you are doing in their firms or their businesses and take notes. You need to be involved with associations within your industry and see what the hottest new thing is. You can't stick your head in the sand.
Unless you're an ostrich. Is that the right bird? Is that them?
I think
I
so.
think so too. I thought I said it. I was like, maybe that's. I know it's a long-legged animal, but I don't know if that's okay. But don't be that, right? don't do. Don't be that person in business. No, 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 no. You want to be like, what animal do you want to be like, Kelly? Like in business?
That's a good question. I'm just going to say a lion because before we got on our recording, I said my last name was Rohrs, like a lion. And that's how I always tell people how to pronounce it. And they're kind of like the king of the jungle. Like,
Wow.
I want to be, the king or queen of accounting.
I love it. I love that. See, that was perfect timing. See that? And that's actually my favorite animal. Well, that and the cheetah.
That was a good one.
So that's a really good one.
That was the other one I was thinking about, actually. So
really,
we're on the same wavelength.
We're on the same frequency here. Okay. Let's talk about the healthcare and the organizations you're helping specifically, because they're out here, and when we share this, I love sharing when we reshare this content. I love sharing it with these particular people who care about what we're talking about. So let's share some information and give them some insight on how other organizations are winning.
So, specifically in healthcare or any professional service, I think it's really important to have good communication with your customers or your clients, and like automating that contact with, some sort of CRM system, some sort of monthly newsletter. It not only, keeps you fresh in the client's mind, but it will allow for potential clients to come in. It'll allow for more referrals. It helps you continue your growth, right? And outside of like a client perspective, in terms of accounting, like I would highly recommend, making sure that your books are synced with your bank accounts. I think a lot of people don't realize that they have the ability to do that, and some people are still stuck in the Stone Age. So we want, everybody to make sure that they have active and, timely financial information.
Timely, huh? Timely is always good. Timely is always good.
And it's really, so many people come to us and they say, we never hear from our accountant, or we don't even, have regular financials. We just wait until the end of the year and give them data, and we do a tax return, and they have no idea what's going on. They have no idea what that bottom line is.
Yeah. Don't do that. Okay. Another one of the don't do list boxes to check. Okay. All right. What are some key factors small businesses should consider? Really any business, but I love talking to small and medium. What should they consider? What is the thinking around automation and the tools when it comes to tax planning? Because this is big.
That is a really good question. I think you could look at it from different perspectives. I mean, there's really, I guess from the business owner's perspective, that's not an accountant. Just reiterating on some sort of software that's helping you, put together your financials on a regular basis will be able to, give you the data you need to tax plan. But obviously you need to be doing this in coordination with an accountant, because DIY is never good. You never know. You can know the tax rates, you could know some strategies that are out there, but like just recently I had a potential new client, and they thought they were doing everything right on TurboTax, and it turns out they were missing filing corporate returns for several years, and they had no idea.
My goodness. That's a nightmare.
Yeah. An absolute nightmare, an expensive nightmare to fix.
Another one you don't want those. And this is why you're here. This is this is like why you do what you do, to help soothe and prevent these nightmares, ladies and gentlemen, because the best thing is prevention, better than cures. I like prevention. I'm one of those preventers.
We like to be proactive.
Not reactive.
Mm-hmm.
Not reactive.
Exactly.
Speaking of proactive, I know that you are inspiring people on your podcast. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what is the name of it again. I love the sound of it. And then why did you start this? Like, well, let's talk about that, because I think I never asked anybody that question before. Why'd you start your podcast? Yeah.
That's a good question. Good
Yeah.
question. So the podcast is called From Zero to Millions Accounting Edition. It is geared towards accountants, but plenty of people have listened and said, a lot of the information that we do give is generalized and can be taken into consideration for your own business. It is really a friend of mine, Bilal Mahana, approached me back over the summer last year. He said, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast for accountants?" Because we both are very active in collaborating with other people within our profession. And, I've inspired several people to go out on their own. They've sent me messages. I've had conversations with them, and then they take that leap of faith. They start their own business, and it's the best thing that they've ever done. So if we can put both of our minds together and provide this on a larger scale, it's been a huge benefit so far, and we've gotten a really, really good feedback.
That is great. And how long have you been doing it?
It launched in November.
Okay.
So we've been, it's just over 6 months now, and we have over 100, listeners per episode and over 3,000 downloads. And we've got some really big names in the accounting industry that have already been on and in the future as well. We're booked out till like August. It's crazy.
Oh, wow. That is fantastic. We've had some pretty wonderful accounting, experts just know what they do. I'll share them with you, matter of fact, because
please, yeah.
It's always good to, and these are the people who are out here and they're talking about how the heck do you do this better, and like that's the conversation, because everyone's trying to figure it out, and so all the different type of perspectives that you can get, better off you are, That's how I look at it. When I go to learn something, I'll take the idea and I'll go to YouTube and I'll type it in, and then I'll watch somebody do it. But then I'll watch an old person do it, a young person do it, a white person do it, a black person do it. I'll watch different people do the same thing. Like, oh, wow! And then you take your perspective. I think that's how you should do business.
Absolutely.
Business. And so, yeah, and I know that's your mindset.
I love that.
I know it's your mindset. Now let's talk about the future. What do you think the future is? I know this. It's almost impossible to predict. Almost impossible. We are moving at a rapid speed, faster than any human that's ever walked on this earth has ever experienced. So, with that being said, can you predict the future, Kelly?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but I definitely have some thoughts here.
Okay.
And, I think that AI has made leaps and bounds just in the last, 2 years with ChatGPT coming out and all of these different upgrades to it. And, in terms of accounting and tax preparation, like there are AI tools that can help assist in those data entries, but it is pretty much garbage right now. I think that give it another 2 years, and I think that most of the data entry in a tax return is going to be completely automated. I think, the low level data entry person is going to, really be eliminated. And I don't say that in a bad way. I think people are fearful that AI is coming for their jobs, but I think that it's actually going to give us the opportunity to provide more valuable services.
Oh, I think you might have said that. I think you might have said that it was good, but it was also short. I think that was the best I heard that. Yes. That's a good way of, right. It's going to give people an opportunity to bring more value out of their own selves.
Right? Yeah. Who wants to do the day-to-day stuff? I mean, listen, sometimes we're not in the mood and we want something monotonous, but like at the end of the day, I value valuable services. And I think our clients do too.
Yeah. Such a good point. Such a good point. That podcast, as a matter of fact, anyone watching or listening to this, you can connect with Kelly and all of what she's doing. It'll be in the comment section, and if you're listening to the podcast, it'll be down there in the description. You just click on the link. You can listen to her podcast, and you can connect with her on LinkedIn and whatever else she wants you to connect with, and we'll get to that at the very end. All right, we're coming in for a landing now. So last few questions. All right, we got our second simply question of the day. And this is like singing to the choir director, but we asked all of our guests this question. I say we. So it's like it's a bunch of us here. Okay. We ask all of our guests this question. Okay. All of us today. If you could automate one thing in your business life right now, click of the heels, wiggle the nose, what would it be? What would it
be? Answering emails.
Oh my goodness. Last week, same one. Wow.
No way. Really? I didn't think, I didn't have any questions available beforehand. So that is really just like top of mind here.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Those emails, what do you got? Like 3,000-4,000 in there? My goodness, they build up, don't they?
I mean, yeah, they certainly do. I'm one of those people that clears out their business inbox on a daily basis, but do not look at my personal inbox. There's like 300,000 unread emails.
We are neck and neck. Okay. There is a method to the madness, people. Okay. There's a method to the madness. No judging around here. Okay. Let's get your best piece of business advice and favorite quote.
You know what? I was actually thinking of a quote earlier on in the show, and it's by Bob Proctor Gallagher. And he says he's famous for mindset and meditations. And I think that the biggest piece of advice really is that mindset comes first. And without having a good mindset about your business and about what you want in the future and about your goals, you're not going to be able to do anything. If you're living in the negative, it's not going to work. And he says, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hands. And I think that goes with the theme that I brought up at the beginning. Like, you really are able to do whatever you put your mind to.
My goodness. Yeah. And rest in peace, Bob Proctor. And listen, I follow Bob since The Secret, actually. I am a Bob Proctor and Gallagher fool. And I just absorbed all of his. So good. You're right. If you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That is fantastic. We're going to use that as a clip too, Kelly. This was a good conversation. Is there anything else you want to share? And then also let people know how they get in contact with you, how to listen to your podcast, everything that you would say for people to know what you want them to know.
So, reach out to your peers, see what other people are doing, do your homework. It's not difficult. Use Google, see what's out there, see what other people are using for tools, look at other associations, spend the time, put your mind to it, write down your goals, work on your manifestations. And, if you want it, you can have it. And, if you want to contact me, I think LinkedIn is the best way to go. All of my content is posted to LinkedIn on a daily basis. You can find the links to the podcast. You can find a link to my website. And, I really appreciate you having me on the show today, Rob.
Wow. Thank you, Kelly. That was fantastic. Kelly Rohrs, ladies and gentlemen, the lioness that can help you in the jungle. Okay. Because it's a jungle out here in business, people.
Sure is.
It's a jungle. All right. You need a lioness to guide you. Kelly, thank you so much. And remember, you don't know what you don't know. So you want to get around people who know more than you. That's how you do what you do. Until next time. Where technology and business are going. Automate. Automation nation, around the nation. Automation nation, automation nation, automation.